Alrighty, folks. It's time we do a little bit of a debrief here. So today's vlog is not necessarily going to be a crazy adventure. We're going to go out and do some kind of video. It's more so going to be me sitting down and talking. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So today was the very first day of the Faerie Festival, which was for the first time ever being held at Marshy Point Nature Center. There's a little bit of context. The Faerie Festival is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a festival where a bunch of folks dress up in fairy attire. And this Faerie Festival was meant to celebrate the summer solstice. There were a bunch of people dressed up in elf attire and butterfly wings on their backs and all these different characters. It was honestly a completely different crowd than I am used to, and a totally different culture that I had never seen before. Now, as different as it was for me, it was actually kind of cool. It took about an hour for everything to set in for me because this was something completely new and something completely different for me. But eventually, by the end of the day, I really began to vibe with some of these people, and I really began to enjoy the Faerie Festival. I met a lot of new people. I met a lot of new faces. I really connected with a few folks that were out there simply because I'm a nerd at heart, and I know a lot of these people were definitely nerds. But outside of experiencing the culture, outside of experiencing the first day of the Faerie Festival, I learned once again that it is very, very difficult to shoot both photo and video as one person for a big event. Now, of course, I was going in using the EOS R as my main camera, but I was mainly using it to take stills, whereas I had my M50 set up on the Ronin with the 24-105 on it, and that was basically going to be my video setup and my video camera for the day. And for like the first half of the day, I walked around with just using the Ronin as the video and the EOS R as the photo. And then eventually, I kind of just got sick and tired of that. I kind of got tired of having to hold this heavy Ronin in one hand and bring up the R in the other hand and have to finagle a bunch of stuff, and it just got so annoying by the middle of the day where I was just like, I don't really need to use the Ronin for this. I really don't want to use the Ronin for this. I'm just gonna go ahead, do all my pictures, do all my video on one camera, and that would be with the EOS R. Now, this is simply because this is a camera that I've garnered a lot of faith in over the last month, with me using it more often, with me using it for the vlog, me using it for work, using it for professional gigs. I've really begun to understand this camera inside and out. I have not figured out the whole thing, but the time that I've spent with this camera since the M50 has been kind of packed away, I really, really rely on this camera a lot. But this was an instance where the cage, the handle, that $400 handheld setup that I invested in for Canaan Valley really came into play. And I enjoyed it a lot better, and I felt like that it was much easier for me to do my photo and my video work just solely relying on a handheld setup with the EOS R. And it was easy for me to switch between photo and video to capture the story of the first day of the festival, simply just relying on the R. And I felt like slimming down my setup and simplifying what I was doing definitely minimized my distraction of, oh, let me get my settings, and oh, let me hold this thing straight, and you know, let me set my one camera down and hold this one up and have to worry about that camera. No, it's all done with one rig, all done with one camera. Let's just go. Let's just get the story and let's go. Now, however, this was not a foolproof setup because there were certain times I definitely was seeing things through a different focal length and I needed to change the lens, or I wanted to capture something from a distance and I needed to change my lens, and then I needed to unscrew filters and put filters back on and switch between all these different things. So that was the only real challenge that I saw with the setup, specifically with trying to manage using an ND filter and when not to use an ND filter, and that was mostly just for pictures and low light. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that the biggest takeaway from this was that this handheld setup that I have essentially been toying around with and eventually began to invest more and more money in, I think is definitely working for me. I do like the Ronin, and I love what I can do with the Ronin. And I know that I'm exaggerating here, but if I'm a one-man army trying to cover photo and video of an entire event, I don't want to have to worry about multiple cameras and multiple rigs. I don't want to have to worry about all these different things. I just want one rig. I just want one camera that can do it all for me. And this handheld setup with the EOS R definitely helped out. And I know for a fact that this is something I'm definitely going to be implementing more of tomorrow when I go back for day 2 of the festival. Now, however, changing around lenses and changing different focal lengths, that's something that I need to get a handle on. But I think for the most part, after looking through some pictures and after looking through some of the video, this setup definitely nailed it. So it's been a long day. I definitely feel really exhausted. My legs kind of feel like jelly. I definitely smell just a little bit, so I'm probably gonna go take a shower here in just a second and then get off the bed, because I have to be up very early tomorrow and make it back out to Marching Point, because I still have to do more video and I still have to get more pictures. So with that being said, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.